Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rat Rant, the final episode of today. But not the final episode of Rat Rant, because I have more episodes planned, and that is on whenever. Today's Rat Rant, we're going to be talking about nostalgia. I think we all know what nostalgia is, but I'm just going to take us down a trip down memory lane. In case you forgot. Now, nostalgia isn't nothing new to the internet. We all have it, a little bit at least. Nostalgia for a time when things were seemingly better. Whether it be the 2010s era, people playing Gary's Mod in Minecraft, stuff like that. Our childhoods where we used to have fun and explore, just try to see what was out there. Or maybe you have a nostalgic time before that, like old cartoons, SpongeBob. SpongeBob is a classic. And maybe you have something else, like an old game that used to just make you so happy whenever you got home. Maybe it was something personal, or maybe it was something more deep with a connection. Whatever the case, everyone has nostalgia for something. Everyone. And don't act like you don't. We all know we have nostalgia. But exactly what kind of nostalgia do we have? Well, I'm not sure. There's some good nostalgia and some bad. Sometimes you remember how bad the era was, like with COVID, lockdown, all that stuff. And sometimes you remember the good of those days. Either way, nostalgia can hit us with many different feelings. And one of those different feelings that I feel like a lot of people remember is the good. Now, I'm not going to talk about all our different types of nostalgia because that'd take a long time, but rather I'm going to refer to some of my personal nostalgic moments. Back when things were simpler, maybe even better. But first, let's talk about some nostalgic characters from the past. Back when I was starting out as a little kid who just discovered the internet for like the first time, there were many YouTube channels that really caught my eye. Some of them still going, some of them are, well, not still going, for good or bad reasons. I'm going to be talking about two channels that are gone for good reasons and two channels that are gone for bad reasons. And honestly, both of them like impacted my childhood a lot. Starting, we have what is potentially one of the best endings for anyone, Matt Pat's Endgame Theory. Like, I don't think I should explain this one to anyone, but he is living his best life. And I am honestly so happy for this. Matt Pat was a guy that taught us all how to theorize. Just kind of funny. His theories, videos, everyone enjoyed them. And then recently, I think maybe last year, he retired. And, well, it broke my little heart, man. I just can't. And by little heart, I mean my heart is small. I don't know why. Either way, it was sad. And I feel like the entirety of the internet was mourning, but there was also just this feeling of gratitude. That Pat didn't do anything wrong. He was a genuinely good person, which made a lot of people happy about his retirement. Happy that he was focusing on himself. Which, it's bittersweet, but hey, it's true. And honestly, I feel like he's just a legend at this point. And I saw that he was going to be in the FNAF movie too. The FNAF 2 movie, I don't know. So I'm happy for him. He's taken on a career beyond just being a YouTuber, and I feel like that's great. Honestly, I feel like Matt Pat's been doing really good for himself. Makes me happy. And now we talk about a YouTuber who I feel like a lot of people know about, being Diamond Minecart. Now, obviously, the Diamond Minecart's living his best life. And that's great for him. He was one of the big three of YouTube back in the day, I feel like. Especially when it comes to Minecraft YouTubers, he is a legend. Making all people around the world smile. And he's doing great. He's an absolute legend. But now, let's talk about the not-so-good things. Two of my personal favorite YouTubers, which this honestly just makes me sad all around, because, like, these were some of my favorite YouTubers as a kid. And it just makes me sad to see how they really just fell from grace. Those two being Venturian Tale and Popular MMOs. So let's start with probably the one that a lot of people know about, Popular MMOs, and then move on to probably one of the saddest stories. Popular MMOs is not a name I need to mention, because you probably have heard of him. He is one of the big three of Minecraft back in the day, along with Stampy and the Diamond Minecart. And God, if you've seen some of my old YouTube videos, you know I was both a parasocial little freak and also a big fan of his. Yeah. I still don't know what I was doing. Like, my brain was not fully developed back then, and I was a bit weird. Either way, nowadays, Popular MMOs is not as popular as it used to be. And things did not go good for him for a long time. For years, Popular MMOs was just kind of missing. Like, but let's start with the downfall of the channel before we start with his current whereabouts. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Uh, the downfall of the channel, at least in my opinion and everyone else's opinion, began when he broke up with, well, Jen. And I think you all know what I'm talking about. Which was sad, honestly. Like, it broke my little, I think, 10-year-old heart. Not quite sure. Either way, this made me very sad. And I didn't know how to really take it. Now, this didn't mean the end of the channel, but it definitely was the beginning of the end. Because the humor and the dialogue built up between these two for the past couple of years, yeah, this had always been a duo channel, and with Jen gone, it really felt more like Pat, and then sometimes Jen would appear again. I mean, they were still friends, but at the same time, it just didn't feel exactly the same. Which, if you know, means that the channel was slowly dying. Now, whilst this was happening, some things came up in Pat's personal life. He got a new girlfriend. Turns out that it wasn't a very good thing. Yeah, she was kind of not the best person. And a lot of allegations were pushed around, some of which may or may not have been correct and incorrect, but I'm not going to reveal about exactly what I think. Because, well, most of the time, these kinds of allegations, you just don't want to get in too deep with them. But, yeah, bad things happen. And then Pat just kind of disappeared for a while. And then, uh, yeah, he got arrested. And turns out he was not doing well at all. He was, doing quite unwell, if I would say so. And this just makes me sad because genuinely one of the highlights of my youth was watching this guy just having fun. And now, yeah. There is actually good news, though, because Pat seems to have basically recovered fully from his problems. I don't want to go too in depth with this because I'm not like a theorizer or an analyzer or anything like that. I'm just here to give my personal opinions on things. And I don't really have a personal opinion on this other than I'm glad that Pat's doing better and I really hope he continues to do better. He's a legend of my childhood, man, and I just cannot live knowing that this man is not doing well. I'm just kidding. But still, he is a legend of my childhood, and I'm so glad that he's doing better because that's just genuinely a good thing for everyone. And I hope he continues to do better because, well, God knows we can only have more people who actually make a full recovery like this. And, well, all I can really say about that is I'm just glad he's doing better. I'm not sure how to really say anything else here, or if anything else really matters here, but now I don't. My brain, it don't work like it used to. Either way, I'm just glad Popular Mode is doing better. It's just great. And now we have an ending that is less sure, because we don't really know what happened. Now, we're gonna talk about Venturian Tale. And, oh boy, this one's a bit sad. Not just because they left the internet, but also because I don't really know how to feel about this. So Venturian Tale was a classic Minecraft, or classic, well, he technically is a Minecraft YouTuber, he just play Minecraft. But what he's most known for was his work with Gmod, and yeah, he was definitely one of the most popular Gmod YouTubers back then. Being the sole reason why specific maps and add-ons were also very highly praised. Now, Venturian Tale was a kid-friendly YouTuber for the most part, and I never really thought about this. And it's only been like, I think a year ago since I found out what actually went on with Venturian Tale. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. So, yeah, turns out Venturian Tale didn't have a great ending. And, well, yeah. Roll the clip. I'm just kidding. I don't have anything to do that. But, yeah, let's stop. Oh, shit. Yeah, so, it's not great. Venturian Tale was probably one of my favorites Gmod YouTubers back in the day, and this all revolves around, well, their beliefs, I guess. See, Venturian Tale, they were taught very, very strict Christian values, I would. At least that's what a lot of people believe. And these Christian values, they were not exactly the best. Which meant, well, the women of the group weren't treated the best. Not like physically abused or anything, but like uh, when they tried to do something different, they were kind of kicked out. And this is kind of sad because we also know that these guys didn't have anyone else really. They were like their own best friends. And this just makes it even sadder because, well, when your best friend abandons you, it's just kind of sad. And I would say that there's a good ending, but there's really not. It's just. As for what happens next, we don't know. We do know that one of the siblings, which I don't want to reveal much, because I definitely think that people should do their own investigations on this. And also, it's a bit of a touchy subject, which I don't want to talk about, because, well, sadness. But anyway, one of the siblings did reveal some things, and it's sad. And I've seen multiple people talk about another video that was deleted about an apology from the main brother who runs the channel. It's just, I really don't want to talk about it because it's just such a touchy subject. It's just sad, but I really don't believe that anyone was in the right or wrong here, except for the sisters, who I definitely believe were in the right for leaving. But at the same time, it's confusing. I don't really know how to give my personal opinion on this one. It's just sad. And I really hope that they can find something and get back together at some point. And just become a family again, honestly. Somehow. And honestly, I just hope that eventually they can find something that will help them. Although I don't know. The point is, I hope the best for them, and I really hope they figure out something. I don't care if they come back to YouTube or not. I hope that they're doing okay at least, because seeing these guys as a family and it just put a smile on my face. And now it seems like their family is kind of broken. And I'm not gonna say that this is good or bad or whatever. I just think that they should at least try to reconcile. And if the brothers are regretful, I definitely think that eventually they should try to. I don't know. Look, I've never actually been through any kind of families going through something like this. I don't know how to really talk about it. It's just I feel like I really hope that eventually they can all forgive each other and just go on being a family again somehow. But I don't know if we live in that kind of world where this can just happen. And I just hope the best for all of them. Even if some of them were better or worse, it's pretty obvious that none of them have full control of all. I don't know what to say here. I genuinely don't. I just hope that. Well, I hope the best for all. That's all I can really say for now. Is I hope the best. Oh, yeah. I don't have any experience with family being in disrepair like this, but it definitely does not seem great. I don't know. And I feel like me touching on these subjects is a bit insensitive, but I just want more people to realize exactly how bad things can get, even under the surface of all these great YouTubers. There's always something going on with them in their personal lives or their own fantasy worlds. Just, I don't know. But I'm not here to focus on the bad. I'm here to focus on the good that these people did for the community and that stuff. These were legends in their time. It's great parts of their own communities that helped shape the internet as a whole. Seeing them like this, sometimes it's sad and sometimes it's bittersweet. But the point stands that just because they're legends, the internet, doesn't mean that they don't go through their own struggles or go through their own problems. Everyone does. It's kind of the point. But we're here to focus on nostalgia, not personal problems and yeah. So, what's my point? Nostalgia is often more complicated than a lot of people think. Sometimes you're nostalgic for a time when things were better, but sometimes it may not actually be that way. And just because you thought things were better doesn't mean that they necessarily were. Back in the day when we played Minecraft, when we had fun, we didn't think about what these people actually were doing. A lot of YouTubers turned out to be not so great people, and a lot of great people turned out to have some pretty poor lives. The point is, back then, oftentimes we thought things were better, but we probably could have been wrong. And I'm not saying that things were better back then. Sometimes they were, and that was just fine. But other times, there was something a bit deeper below the surface of this friendly family video that we once saw. Sometimes it's just sad or downright heartbreaking. But I can't really talk much about this because, well, my brain is just, I don't know how to really talk about this without touching on someone's nerves. I'm not the best when it comes to conversation. I've always been a bit bad at talking about things, and talking about things like this, just, I don't know. It's not my strong suit. But what I can say is I just hope the best for everyone. God, I hope that someday, somehow, legends like this can return without any controversies or problems and just be great again. Some days I wish things like that could just happen, but that's not the case. And I can't change how the world is these days. I can't change any of that, but at least I can try to talk about it. And if that's the least I can do, well, I'll do it. I only have the highest respect for literally everyone I've talked about here. Even if they haven't done the best things, like Venturian, I definitely think that he at least was trying. But I'm pretty sure his brutal and probably strict Christian upbringing definitely didn't help with that. It does seem like he's genuinely sorry, though, and I don't hope, and I really hope no one sends him any like death threats or anything, because it definitely seems like he's at least trying to be sorry, and not in the way that he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry" with crocodile tears. I'm talking about like he's actually, well, sorry about things he said or probably did, and I don't know. Like I said, it's a touchy subject, and I don't know much about it because I only recently learned about that kind of stuff. And it's just, like I said, I just want the best for him. And sometimes that can't happen. But hey, at least I can hope. If all I can do is hope, then at least I can hope. And I hope that they do have some kind of, well, resolve that's not as bad. I don't know what to say here. I hope eventually, somewhere, somehow, these legends can kind of have great endings. Popular MMO seems to be having a bit of a comeback because, well, he definitely has recovered, and I'd love to see that. But Venturian Tale, which is one of the classics from my childhood, uh, I'm not so sure. I definitely hope that somehow this broken family can be fixed. Not in the way like, oh, hey, they are in the wrong, but in the way that they can just kind of become a family again somehow. I, I've been saying this repeatedly, haven't I? I suck at conversation, but I'm just trying to put it out there. And I said that already, didn't I? Oh, God. Either way, point still stands. These are nostalgic times when I was a kid watching his videos for the first time and just having fun with it. Nowadays, everything's so serious. Everyone is so serious. All these YouTubers, they're all, well, so serious. They don't have that same vibe they used to. Now it's all about these tryhards doing what they can to break any game that they come across. And it's just not fun. Not like it used to be. Makes me kind of sad. Just seeing these YouTubers change so much. It became less about the fun and more about the money. That's a quote from Jacksepticeye. He's not wrong. It really did become more about the fun. Try to have a serious moment. Oh, I fucked it up. But either way, it just did become more about the money and less about the fun. That really does show on the internet. That's why I'm trying to just have fun. I don't care about the money. I don't care about any of that. I just want to have fun. And if that's all I can do, well, god damn it, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna have the blast of time. I can't fix all the problems with the internet. I can't fix all the problems with anything. But at least I can talk about it. So, there's that. This game just brings out that nostalgia. So, and maybe even if I can't fix everything, I can fix what's in front of me. Be the best person I can. At least that's my take on things. I have been your host, and this has been Rat Rants. Good evening, and good night. And I hope we all make some memories. That's all I gotta say.